Shalum, shalom, and welcome. Welcome to White Rose family. My name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I am compelled to present to a set-apart awakening nation. Individuals who believe they are drawn by the Almighty Creator Yahuah to Yahusha Mashyach. In this installment, my brothers and sisters, I want to bring about the importance of instructions. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, make no mistake. Uncertainty is enlarging before the face of the earth. There are individuals who are religious who believe that famine, pestilence, and disease is of the devil, and they're trying to rebuke something that is ordered by the Almighty Father. Are you not aware that the scriptures tell us how the Almighty Father ordered famine, pestilence, and disease to humble us physically, emotionally, and mentally, so that our inward man will rise up in strength and we will cry out to him? Search the scriptures, my brothers and sisters. There are times the Almighty Father, he ordered the plagues. Look at during the times of Mashyach or Moses. He ordered the plagues that he may be magnified, and that Pharaoh's heart ultimately was softened, and he released the children of Yashar'al from bondage. Just as in days of old, where there are times the Almighty Father ordered plagues, pestilence, disease, and famine, to the set-apart children of Yahuah, ask yourself, have you ever given thought to what Hebrews 12th chapter and Revelations 3:19, which speaks about discipline? Have you ever given thought to what methods, what details, what processes will bring us into discipline to the Almighty Father? I have stated on more than one occasions how the 7 major feast times, and I'm speaking of Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, harvest, atonement, and tabernacle. Again, Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, harvest, trumpets, atonement, tabernacle. 7 major set-apart feast times, and I am compelled to believe that each one has a purpose beyond just coming together and eating in fellowship. It has a purpose to be passed down, and that have been passed down throughout generations. It's time for this generation to recognize the Passover, the first set-apart time. It is a time of instructions, my brothers and sisters. If we look at the first Passover, it was a time of instructions. Instructions for the children of Yahuah. And in those instructions, they understood specific details that must be done and was done regarding the first Passover, when the blood of the sacrificed lamb was put across the doorpost. And I will submit to you, O Yashar'al, that just as the set-apart children of Yahuah followed those instructions, which led to their freedom from captivity in Egypt, also known as Mitzrayim, so will we witness in the coming days as the Passover lamb, the ultimate Passover lamb, Yahusha Mashyach, will bring about life everlasting. But just as they had to follow instructions, there are specific details and instructions we must follow. I want to bring your attention to the importance of instructions and why I speak alternately to ask questions. But before I get into it, let me read this disclaimer. The information contained in White Rose family represents instructions and warnings to individuals who believe they are drawn by the Almighty Creator Yahuah to Yahusha Mashyach, referencing John 6:44. The content presented centers around end-time realities, Please be advised this site is not intended for children under 16 years of age to be compliant with various media platforms. By continuing forward, you agree to hold Symmanayah harmless of any influence in or actions that arise as a result of watching, listening, and or viewing the content presented. The views expressed do not reflect the owners, management, and or shareholders of this media platform. Please note I am not affiliated with anyone or organization with similar names. With that said, my brothers and sisters, the subject of instructions, the importance of instructions. My brothers and sisters, there's a lot of uncertainty right now. In the midst of the coronavirus or COVID-19 specifically, and new diseases and plagues on top of those that existed, in the midst of all the plagues and diseases that are ramping up, in the midst of civil unrest brewing, economic collapse over the rising, in the midst of different laws from state to state as it relates to quarantining, being quarantined, there's a lot of uncertainty. And I said I would ask this often, and I will. Are you satisfied with your moray, your teacher, your pastor, your spiritual head, your bishop, your deacon? Are they providing you with the instructions in the event they are no longer around you, that you know what to do? Are they teaching you? Are they demonstrating how to engage the power and might of the Almighty Father in Yahusha's name? Are they speaking on the importance of lifting up Yahusha? And we do that by our obedience, by our worship and obedience to the Almighty Father. Search the scriptures, my brothers and sisters, for it is written that no man can come to the Father except by the Son. It is also written that the Son, Yahusha, Mashyach, and Yahuah are one, that Yahusha represents the Word manifest in the flesh and represents the set-apart Spirit, as is written in John 14:26, that the Father will send his set-apart Spirit in his name, in Yahusha's name. My brothers and sisters, while there are people saying, well, who knows what's true? We all are wrong. Let every man be a liar and Yahuah be true. So as it written, my brothers and sisters, we must also be mindful of the scriptures that talks about how the Almighty Father uses his children, how his Spirit works in us, through us, one towards another. We must be mindful that the true Almighty Father brings about his truth through his children. Instructions. Are you getting instructions that you feel, that you believe are necessary, that strengthen you and equip you for how to respond as things become worse? Consider this, my brothers and sisters. There was Adam. Come with me and let's visit Genesis chapter 1, verse 27 through 30. It reads, the Almighty One created the man in his image. In the image of the Almighty One, he created him, male and female, he created them. And the Almighty One blessed them, and the Almighty One said to them, be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the seas, over the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over all creeping creatures on the earth. And the Almighty One said, see, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face of all the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food, and to every beast on the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to the creeping creatures of the earth, in which there is a living being, every green plant is for food. And it came to be. Here we see where the Almighty Father speaks about the things regarding Adam. Instructions regarding the leader, the first man. Come with me to the second chapter of Genesis, 16 and 17. 16 and 17, Genesis chapter 2, 16 and 17. And Yahuah The Almighty One commanded man, saying, eat of every tree of the garden, but do not eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, for in that day you eat of it, you shall certainly die. My brothers and sisters, I read Genesis chapter 1, 27 through 30, and I read the second chapter, 16 and 17. Truly, we recognize there were some instructions and warnings given to Adam. And I say to you, instructions are important. We ought to be mindful for those who know and discern and respond to instructions will grow to know the life that the Almighty Father has given us and so much more. Instructions. There was Adam. There was Noah. Let me read Genesis chapter 6, verse 12 through 16. And the Almighty One looked upon the earth and saw that it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted their way on the earth. And the Almighty One said to Noah, the end of all flesh hath come before me, for the earth is filled with violence through them. And see, I am going to destroy them from the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make rooms in the ark, cover it inside and outside with a covering. And this is how you are to make it. The length of the ark is 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make a window for the ark and complete it to a cubit from above, and set the door of the ark in its side. Make it with lower, second, and third decks. My brothers and sisters, I'm just sharing with you a portion of the instructions that Noah received before the Almighty Father destroyed the earth with a flood. He gave Noah instructions. And if we are familiar with the story, we'll know Noah followed those instructions, and he and his family and the animals that he was directed to put in the ark were saved. Instructions, my brothers and sisters. Instructions that led to life. Now I want you to look at, with me, O Yashar'al, something related to Moses. There was Mashyach, commonly known as Moses. Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 through 10. Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 through 10. And he said, I have indeed seen the oppression of my people who are in Mitzrayim, and have heard their cry because of their slave drivers, for I know their sorrows. I have come down to deliver them from the hand of the Mitzrayites, some versions will say Egyptians, and to bring them up from that land to a good and spacious land, to a land flowing with milk and honey, to the place of the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And now see, the cry of the children of Yashar'al has come to me, and I have also seen the oppression which the Mitzrayites oppressed them. And now come I, sending you to Pharaoh to bring my people, the children of Yashar'al, out of Mitzrayim. My brothers and sisters, if we study the story of Mashyach, commonly known as Moses, some will say Moshe. If we study the story, we know that the Almighty Father sent him to lead, sent him to deliver the messages to Pharaoh, and sent him to lead his children out of bondage. Just as we are suffering to this day in many ways, shapes, and forms, just as end times speak of widespread death, destruction, earthquakes, famine, pestilence, disease, salvation came. Moses obeyed the Almighty Father. He followed his instructions. And I want to fast forward and bring you to some more instructions Mashyach had as it relates to the Passover. the first Passover. So come with me, my brothers and sisters, as I talk a little bit more of the Passover. My brothers and sisters, Exodus 12th chapter, verse 3 through 12. Exodus 12th chapter, verse 3 through 12. Come with me. Here, Mashyach, again commenting on this Moses. We see where Yahuah is quoted speaking to him, saying, "Speak to all the congregation of Yashar'al, saying, on the 10th day of the new moon, each one of them is to take for himself a lamb, according to the house of his father, a lamb for a household. And if the household is too small for the lamb, let him and his neighbor next to the house take it according to the number of the beings, according to each man's need. You make your count for the lamb. Let the lamb be a perfect one, a year-old male. Take it from the sheep or from the goats. You shall keep it until the 14th day of the same new moon. Then all the assembly of the congregation of Yashar'al shall slay it between the evenings. And they shall take some of the blood and put it on the two doorposts and on the lintel of the houses where they eat it. And they shall eat the flesh on that night, roasted in fire with unleavened bread and with bitter herbs they shall eat. Do not eat it raw, nor boiled at all with water, but roast it in fire, its head with its legs and its inward parts. And do not leave of it until morning. And what remains of it until morning you are to burn with fire. And this is how you're to eat it. Your loins girded, your sandals on your feet, your staff in your hand, and you shall eat it in haste. It is a Passover of Yahuah. And I shall pass through the land of Mitzrayim, some versions say Egypt, on the night, and shall strike all the firstborn in the land of Mitzrayim, both man and beast, and on the mighty one, and all the mighty ones of Mitzrayim I shall execute judgment. I am Yahuah. My brothers and sisters, instructions given. And if you study the story, you'll see those who put the blood on the doorpost and over the lintel were spared. And death came before the firstborn of those who were not covered by the blood of the sacrificed lamb. My brothers and sisters, instructions. The Almighty Father, Yahuah, manifests himself, his word in the flesh, under the name Yahusha, Yahusha. And I don't waver with the name that I am confident and compelled to use. A name that represents life everlasting. A name that represents the sovereign, some say king, of set apart Yashar'al. Yahusha, the word of the Almighty Yahuah. You see, my brothers and sisters, there are instructions, and we must know how to receive these instructions. We must learn how to read the scriptures, and we must know who to look to discern the life in the scriptures. Consider these words, O Yashar'al. Listen carefully. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with the Almighty One, and the Word was the Almighty One. He was in the beginning with the Almighty One. All came to be through him, and without him not even one came to be that came to be. And if you drop down to the 14th verse in the first chapter, John, you'll see, and the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us. And we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, as I have stated before, the word of Yahuah is Yahusha. Make no mistake. Know this to be of a truth. Keep these words in mind. John 6:44. No one is able to come to me unless the Father who sent me draws him, and I shall raise him up in the last day. It is also stated in John 12:32 and 33. If I am lifted up from the earth, shall draw men to myself. Then he said, signifying by what death he was about to die. He spoke of the sacrifice. And if you study the scriptures, not just the sacrifice, he also talked about the resurrection. Yashar'al or Yashar'al. It's time to discern that end times is here. There are details. There are processes. There are instructions that we will learn to follow, that we will learn to obey. Yashar'al, my brothers and sisters, are you happy with anyone who's teaching and leading you right now? Are they just giving you generic, don't worry, Yahuwah is going to take care of us? Are they snatching the comforting scriptures to make you feel relaxed? We are in spiritual battle. These are end times. The wicked one knows that his time is nearing an end. Life as we know it and these earthen vessels approach extinction. For know this, that all earthen vessels will return to the dust from which it came. That will be extinction as we know it in these earthen vessels. Yashar'al, it's time to discern end time instructions. Are your leaders telling you to get some bottled water or containers with water for traveling? Just as much as you're able to carry. Some food, non-perishable. Some may call it a to-go bag. Are your leaders telling you to keep comfortable walking shoes nearby? Are they telling you to prepare for orders that may come that may not allow you to get back to your children or children to their parents or brother to sister or sister to brother, mother, father, or anyone in your camp? You see, earthquakes in diverse places doesn't say it's not going to happen until you can get back to who you're supposed to be with. Are you aware that the Spirit of Yahusha will guide you to where you're supposed to be, when you're supposed to be, and as destruction comes, what you're supposed to be doing? So it's important for us to know how to weigh and discern the voice of the Spirit of Yahusha, speaking to us in spirit directly or through another. It's important for us to understand that end time instructions will come through us in spirit or one to another. Are your leaders equipping you with the confidence to know what to do if they're not around? And if you are a leader, are you sharing these things with your camp, your community, your group, your fellowship? Are you sharing with them that a time of movement will come? Are you also sharing with them that some may be ordered to shelter and stay in place and be a refreshing destination as Yashar'al began to come together, as they begin to move from one location to the next? It may be camps or communities where individual brothers and sisters are ordered to shelter in place, to provide a place of rest, as those who will fulfill the final exodus are moving towards the destination that they are to be gathered. You see, everyone will not be gathered from the four corners of the earth before the physical return. The final exodus are those for the purposes of fulfilling what is written, for the esteem of the Almighty Father, as it is written in Isaiah 43rd chapter. People use the word all and think he's talking about everybody, all set apart ones. If that was the case, how would we have martyrs for Yahusha's name? If that was the case, why would it say there will be a falling away? Some stumble, some fall, some are on milk. My brothers and sisters, there's a lot to learn. And there's a lot that we need to be mindful of in order to strengthen our beings for what's to come. Things are about to get worse before they get better. Let me read these words which I've shared once before. Come with me, O Yashar'al. Remember these words. Here Yahusha is quoted as saying, my sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me, and they shall by no means ever perish, and no one shall snatch them out of my hand. And if you drop to the 29th and 30th verse, it say, my Father who has given them to me is greater than all, and no one is able to snatch them out of my Father's hand. I and my Father are one. My brothers and sisters, if you search the scriptures, it talks about dying for Yahusha's name. But our spirit is what lives forever. Our spirit is forever linked to Yahusha Mashyach, to the Almighty Father. Remember, we were drawn to Yahusha. We were picked and drawn to Yahusha Mashyach by the Almighty Father. We were placed in his hands. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al, are you receiving the instructions you need to hear? Waiting to react will mean in some cases many will respond when it's too late. Extreme times. Extreme times are no doubt among us. It has reached the doorsteps of many of the brothers and sisters throughout the world. And soon and very soon, every living individual will face movement. Will face movement. Are you ready? Or Yashar'al, are you ready to face movement? Extreme times reveal Yahuwah's discipline, vengeance, and wrath have begun. And things will get intense, my brothers and sisters. Seek out the instructions that will bring about the obedience necessary to bring a degree of comfort. Instructions, my brothers and sisters, details, ask questions, vet, examine. Do not stop, my brothers and sisters. Ask questions, as many questions as come to mind. Study the scriptures and seek the life in them. Prepare to witness clear, set-apart instructions. Prepare to discern and obey, to act, to identify the plans of the Almighty Father. My brothers and sisters, before you see bullets highlighting set-apart plans that contribute towards deliverance, relocation, and lifestyle changes. It will bring about those who are included and those that will be left behind. Make no mistake, O Yashar'al. Do not have doubt. Remember Hebrews 11:1, which talks about belief. And how 11:6 say, without belief, it's impossible to please him. Do you think that the Almighty Father would let us be in the condition that we are in without living instructions like Adam receives? Or living instructions as Noah receives? Or as Mashyach receives? Just like he did on many occasions with many situations regarding his children. There are instructions, O Yashar'al. And I believe a part of the instructions is to build a set-apart team of leaders that's been vetted and proven to be chosen by the Almighty Father, led by the Spirit of the Almighty Father Yahuah in Yahushua's name. That there's a plan to develop an information and resource center, both physical and virtual. Do you have a number, a place to call, to ask questions, specific details regarding on preparations for movement? Or preparations for what to do and how to govern yourself if you are ordered to shelter in place? Yashar'al, the plan of Yahuah consists of many plans from many different leaders, but these are plans that will join and link up to those who are led and obey the Spirit of the Almighty Father. Do you see a team, a community, a camp, a fellowship with mentors teaching the young, the unlearned, traditional and non-traditional skill sets, whether it be mechanical skills, gardening skills, defensive skills, military skills? communication skills, health skills. There are a lot of skill sets that must be identified and spread throughout the body of Yashar'al with understanding of how they come together. Each and every one of us are important. My brothers and sisters, to those of you who have heard people talk of a final exodus or getting out of Babylon, so to speak, or fleeing the specific countries that they're in, do you think that we will just be beamed out? There will be movement, or Yashar'al. And I believe in the Western Hemisphere that the exit point will be in the state of Virginia, commonly known as the Commonwealth of Virginia. Yashar'al, White Rose family have a plan to purchase land in Virginia and participate in the assembly of the set-apart ones of the Almighty Father, both Hebrews and Gentiles, Abrahym and Goym, which means other nations, together that are gathered, those that are gathered, that are made one by Yahusha Mashyach, under the banner of Yashar'al. Sure, the 12 tribes will emerge, they will rise, and they will fulfill what is necessary regarding the 144,000. But once this is fulfilled, we will all be, we who are the set-apart nation of Yahuah, will be under the banner of Yashar'al. Is anyone providing you with a list of safe zones for when you find yourself in movement, so you know where to stop, to rest, to refuel, to strengthen up? For the journey will be intermittent, step by step. Hours, days, and months for some. Are you receiving guidance and support for what you need to expect, what you need to do as it relates to completing your journey, discerning the journey the Most High have for you? Are you receiving the guidance specifically for the inner court life, the set-apart children of Yahuah? Do you anticipate learning, growing in maturity as we find ourselves waiting on Yahusha Mashyach, his physical return? Yashar'al, O Yashar'al, all plans of action come with a cost. I want to say to you, my brothers and sisters, count the cost of what lies ahead. Things will not just at the flick of a switch happen overnight or in an instant. If I'm saying anything that remotely causes you to draw close to the Almighty Father Yahuah, in Yahusha's name, consider subscribing and help me. Help me, O Yashar'al, as I present the things I am charged to do. Subscribe, share with others. By sharing with others and they begin to listen, they may get something that you didn't receive. And as they share with you, they may miss something that you received. The more people can examine and vet the words, the actions that I present and that anyone presents, it opens up the opportunity for confirmation regarding the words of life, regarding instructions for these end times. Yashar'al, I ask for your support. Make yourself known, my brothers and sisters. Contribute, invest. Whether it be resources, supplies, skill sets, or money, consider getting involved, O Yashar'al, and watch the plan as it enlarges and connect with others. We will learn how to vet. My brothers and sisters, I've set up a Cash App, White Rose Family, if you'd like to contribute financially, and no amount is too small. If you want to learn more about details, about what to expect in these final days, as much as lies within me, as much as I am directed, I will bring it out. I will share it with you. I will provide the instructions that I am given and directed. to you who are indeed my brothers and sisters. Let's connect. Instructions. Yashar'al, oh Yashar'al. Just blanket words like the Most High is going to deliver us. Don't worry about it. We all going to be gathered from the four corners of the earth before the physical return of Yahusha Mashyach. Ask questions. Now, I ask you again, are you satisfied with your more, your teacher, your pastor, your shepherd, your leader? Do you believe they're giving you the instructions that in the event that they were disabled, or in the event they should perish, are they giving you the instructions on knowing what to do? Currently, my brothers and sisters, there are some people that are racing to communities because of guns and protection. Wrong reason. Some people are racing to camps in groups for the sake of being in mass numbers. Wrong intentions, my brothers and sisters. When the scriptures speak of Yahusha being lifted up, he will draw all men to himself, our eyes are to focus on Yahusha. The Spirit of Yahusha working in us, through us, one towards another. Our eyes are to focus on set apart behaviors, teachings, traits. And in doing so, we who are committed to set apartness, we who are under the hand of the Almighty Father's discipline, we are the loved ones of the Almighty Father. We will be refined, and that's when we will look and notice others with like minds to do the will of the Almighty Father, coming together, growing together, drawn together. We will recognize the 144,000 in great multitude emerge in these coming days. Be mindful of instructions, for instructions lead to life, life everlasting. Do not seek to gain your life, but seek to lose your life for Yahusha's sake. In other words, be prepared whatsoever he says, whatsoever he directs, that you're able to discern that it is indeed from the Spirit of Yahuah, and that you will die for Yahusha's name. And watch the life of the Almighty Father enlarged with all belief and convincing power, O Yashar'al. Instructions. Just as the first Passover had instructions that led to life, we know the ultimate Passover of Yahusha, the Lamb of Yahuah, the sacrifice, the resurrection, the blood of the Lamb. There are instructions that bring us to restoration. There are instructions we must never forget, that we must hold on to and let stir within us, O Yashar'al. On that note, seek out specific instructions, ask questions, ask details. Seek to discern who is connected, whose cup is overflowing with instructions to the set-apart children of Yahuah. During this pandemic, during these quarantines, during disease, as we face evictions or foreclosure, as we face trying to adapt and adjust to the conditions before us, as we begin to see sudden destruction come, widespread death enlarge, as we begin to see our mental and emotional state challenged, let us seek out the instructions that are coming from the Almighty Father. He gives instructions daily, moment by moment, my brothers and sisters. As it is written, we are instructed to pray without ceasing. That requires speaking and listening. Do we have an eye to see, ears to hear, a spirit to discern, welcome, embrace the instructions from the Almighty Father? On that note, O Yashar'al, I salute your patience, your tolerance, your pursuit of set apart. A set apart life. Yashar'al, O Yashar'al. We're beyond types and shadows. This is it. Watch things become more intense. Though man is kicking the can down the road. Though people are trying to embrace the expectation that things will go back to the way they used to be, not so, my brothers and sisters. Stay tuned, for there is much more to come. My name is Symmanayah, and these are the words I'm compelled by the Almighty Father Yahuah in the name of Yahusha to present before those whom he is drawing to fulfill all that has been written. On that note, I say to you, Shalum.